Whilst the rest of us are dealing with real-world problems like how we're going to afford to pay our bills on a day-to-day basis, as well as dealing with all our personal traumas in an increasingly hostile, unforgiving world, our wealthy friend, aka professional victim Prince Harry, finds himself in a similar predicament. Having walked away from a job that meant he didn't actually need to have any money on him, to a lifestyle which requires him to actually work for a living. What a shocker that must have come as. With nothing but the fact that he's a prince, as his real credentials. Yes, he has been in the army, but he left the UK and that doesn't really pay well anyway. He's resorted to selling his soul. And what a roller coaster of trumped-up revelations it's been. His latest foray, a lucrative book deal, had to be postponed because, frankly, it would have been somewhat unsavoury for him to launch his truth in memoirs, the first in a series immediately after his grandmother, the Queen's death. Instead, his book, which it has been revealed will be called Spare, in relation to his positioning in the line of succession, will be unleashed on January the 10th next year. For goodness sake, I mean, so many people saying they're going to buy this thing. Seriously? You want to hear about a man who is considerably richer than you, who grieved after the death of his mother, which was very sad, but then went on to marry a woman who appeared to have the effect of decimating the family and then calling someone a racist, which has clearly had a negative influence on his relationship with the rest of his family, in particular his brother? I can't see how Diana would be happy to see the two of them at loggerheads. How he's run away from the UK for privacy and is now selling his soul to make ends meet because he's finally discovered that things cost money, especially if he wants to live next door to Oprah. It should be called Spare Us the Detail. I'm absolutely not helping to fund this lifestyle of whinging. And out of the many millions that he's going to get for the book, to soften the blow and make him look a little kinder, a small proportion of the proceeds will be going to charity. He'd know all about charity. The British taxpayer's been funding him for years, and in my view, he's pretty much turned his back on this country. It's reported that the tone of the book changed from its original conception. Yes, very wise. And that now it is a remarkably moving personal journey from trauma to healing, ending with the eternal power of love over grief. He calls this healing, a clear rift between himself and his family, and passing on his trauma to them in a book to be released only months after his father has lost his mother. How ungrateful. There's nothing like pulling up the drawbridge after you've left the castle.